Hello everyone, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the latest AI model to hit the scene, which is Elon Musk's Grok 3. And as we see from this tweet, they've now made this model completely available for free, depending on their server capacity. And as we can see, they're claiming that this is the smartest AI in the world right now. We know that Grok 3 is a major upgrade on its previous models, and it's now the #1 model on the chatbot arena. And if we look at the detailed breakdown, we can see that it's not only #1 overall, but it's #1 in style control, #1 in hard prompts, #1 in coding, in maths, creative writing, following instructions, and longer queries. But does Grok 3 perform as well as it says it does? Is it really the smartest model in the world? This is what we're going to find out in this video. And not only are we going to do a complete testing, I'm going to show you some excellent use cases where you can use Grok 3 to get the most out of this model. So let's get started. Okay, so there are two main ways you can use Grok. The first way is if you go into the X platform, x.com, you'll find that you can use Grok from the left-hand side panel. So you come and click on Grok, and then it will take you to the interface here, and you can just start typing and adding your prompts. The other way you can use Grok, which I actually prefer to use, is to go to grok.com, which is the standalone platform for the AI model. And this is the interface that you're going to see. It's actually quite simple, very similar to the other AI models. You'll find that there's a deep search button here that allows you to conduct deeper research. Similar to the deep research via Perplexity and now with OpenAI as well. You also have a think button here, which, although takes longer, allows the model to use its extended reasoning capacities. And then you've got an attach button here where you can upload your files. You can also use it to research. You can use it to brainstorm. And you can use it to analyze data. And we're going to look at some use cases for analyzing data because it's especially powerful, its ability to come up with insights from the data. And you can also use it to create images and code. Let's get started with our first prompt. So for our first prompt, we're going to add one that says, what are the latest news, trends, and advancements in AI development and tools? I'm not going to activate either the deep search or the think button. Just want to see the kind of news it comes back with. What you'll notice here is because Grok relies on the Twitter platform to extract the latest news, we'll find here that we've got 4x posts from TechCrunch, and then we've got 20 different web pages that it's used to extract the information. So things like from DeepSeek, from artificial intelligence news, from prediction. So if we look at the response, although it's giving us some good news resources, it's giving us some good web pages that we can look at the information. The information is quite generic. I don't see it using specific tools. So it's telling us here, so AI development is seeing a strong push towards more efficient, accessible, responsible systems. We've got one big trend is the rise of AI agents, which we know is massive. On the tools front, coding assistants are getting smarter. Developers are now leaning on AI to write significant chunks of code. It's focused on general trends first without giving me explicit details of products. And then, of course, it jumps onto Grok 3, giving us the latest news on that. So just change a prompt here to say, what's the latest news on AI tools and developments? Provide details from the major players such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and DeepSeek. And now you can see that it's now come back with very specific news. 400 million weekly active users. We've got Anthropic, and we know the launch of Claude 3.7 Sonnet on February 24th. But now we've got DeepSeek, some information about that. You'll find that there's a range of tweets, so it's captured some older tweets as well. So we got here about Anthropic releasing the new hybrid model. I got the information OpenAI's deep research that's now become available for users as well. With a bit of prompting, we can see that we can get really relevant recent news from Grok, especially because of its reliance on X to extract the latest news. And as we've seen, a lot of companies use X as the major platform for making their announcements. We're able to extract that recent up-to-date information. Okay, so for the next prompt, we're going to be looking at its reasoning ability. And you'll see that I've attached an image here that has a number of different shapes and then they have different colors. And this is actually a problem that I've extracted from the Mathsvista benchmarking test. And together with this image, I have a prompt that says, subtract all large rubber spheres, subtract all big shiny cylinders. How many objects are left? And this is actually an interesting problem for the LLM to solve because not only does it have to recognize the different shapes, it has to look at the colors as well, determine which one's shiny, which one it can subtract. So let's give it this problem and see how it does with that. And because I'm looking at its reasoning ability, I want to activate the think button here so it can show me its thinking process when it's coming to solve this problem. Okay, so if we look at the response, we can see now that it's thought for 12 seconds. And if we expand it, we can see the thinking process. It's looking at the descriptions of the different objects. So it's got a large green rubber sphere, it's got a medium-sized purple cylinder, and so on. Now subtracting the large rubber spheres and big shiny cylinders, which are object 0 and object 4. The remaining objects are object 1, 2, 3, and object 5. First, it identified the objects in the image based on descriptions that were provided, and then it applied the instructions to subtract specific objects. The final answer is 4 objects left, which is the correct response. And we look at it, it's really amazing how Grok 3 is able to only process the image, but to then use its reasoning ability to derive the correct solution and to solve the problem. So next we're going to be looking at testing its deep search. And as we saw, a lot of the models are now introducing this deep research and deep search feature, which allows the model to do some extensive research. And I've recently used this prompt with Perplexity's deep research, and we saw some amazing results come out of that. So now we're going to try it with Grok, and I'm going to see what is the kind of response that I get. But this prompt says, conduct a comprehensive research analysis on public opinion regarding DeepSeek, focusing on how people perceive its benefits, risks, and overall impact. The final output should be an unbiased, structured report that presents diverse viewpoints, ensuring a balanced representation of both positive and negative perspectives. And I've then added some research requirements, such as your analysis should include general sentiment around DeepSeek, how do users, experts, and the general public feel about DeepSeek, is sentiment mostly positive, negative, or mixed, and some other pieces of information. And because we said that Grok has access to the latest news, I'm expecting it to come with some very relevant response. So let's see if it's able to do that. So we can see here that with deep search, it's now thinking. It takes us through the process. It's now researching public opinion. So the request is to analyze public opinion on DeepSeek, focusing on benefits, risks, and overall impact. I'm aiming to create an unbiased report with diverse viewpoints, and you can see the different searches that it's now looking for. So it was DeepSeek, extracting it from different resources. It's actually quite fast, faster than at Perplexity's deep research. So it took 35 seconds. They used 100 sources. If we look at the key points, we can see that it says research suggests public opinion on DeepSeek is mixed, with praise for its performance and cost effectiveness, but there's concerns about its privacy. It seems likely that users appreciate DeepSeek for its advanced AI capabilities, especially in coding and maths. So it comes back here with, again, public perception is split. It tells us some of the benefits, some of the risks, and then in conclusion. So you can already see it's been quite general, it's been quite brief. It starts to get a little bit more specific here. It says users appreciate its ability to handle complex tasks such as coding and mathematical reasoning, with models like DeepSeek version 3 and DeepSeek Code version 2 outperforming competitors. And then it tells us where it's extracted that information from. So some information about the open source pricing, which makes it accessible to smaller businesses and developers. And then here are some criticisms. And because I've just done this exact same deep research with Perplexity, I'm going to leave you the link to the video to compare their response. You'll see that with Perplexity, we get a lot more insight, a lot more analysis. We get more statistics, more viewpoints, more detailed opinions than we get with Grok. So I'd say, although Grok gives me a general good response, showing me the different viewpoints, Perplexity did a much better job with their deep research tool in really digging deep and coming back with statistics and analysis of the issue. Okay, so the next thing that I'll be using it for is for analyzing a data set. So I've just added the CSV file here, but has a lot of information about the different countries of the world. And I've just said here, provide me with 5 key insights using statistical analysis from the data attached. Okay, so it comes back very quickly with the results. And looking at the results here, I can tell you that the analysis here is really, really strong. So it comes back saying that there's strong negative correlation between GDP per capita and infant mortality, which is exactly the case. And then it explains that countries with higher GDP per capita tend to have significantly lower infant mortality. And it shows the correlation, which is a strong negative relationship. And then it tells me it's approximately minus 0.65. And then it comes back with the remaining insights. Population density varies widely, but doesn't directly predict economic output. Literacy rates strongly linked to phone access and economic development, high birth rates and infant mortality in sub-Saharan Africa, and so on. So with the analysis, you can see that it's dug deep into a very detailed data set to come up with very, very strong insights that then you can use and then apply to whatever case you're working on. Now, the next thing I want to do is look at its uploading capacity and look at roughly how many documents it's able to upload and then summarize. So just come here to my folder. I'm going to try and attach 10 different documents. to see whether it will be able to take all these documents. Okay, so now it seems like it's taken the documents. So I'm just going to add a prompt here that says, summarize the documents and provide the key points from each one. It's come back with a response that I don't have any documents, so it seems that it's not able to read that large number of documents. So I've tried uploading a different number of documents, and what I've found is that it's usually able to process about 3 documents at a time. Now, what I don't like about Grok is that it doesn't tell you whether it's able to take these documents, whereas we saw with DeepSeek and Kimi, it will tell you that it's unable to process remove, for example, 50% of the documents or remove 60% of the documents. So at least it gives you an indication of how much the limit is. We don't see that with Grok, but now with 3 documents, I'm going to say summarize documents and provide the key points from each one. And you can see that now, because it's only 3 documents, it was able to go ahead and provide me with the summary. And if we look at the actual summary, the points are actually quite good, and it gives me an overview of the document and then the key points from each one. And it's a top level summary without deeper insights, but similar to what I've asked in my prompt, just give me an overview of each paper. And then what I like as well is that it's given me overall insights across the document. So in an attempt to just bring the 3 papers together, so I have a good response in terms of summarizing the documents. So overall, what we've seen with Grok 3 is that it has some very strong features. It was extremely strong in data analysis, for example. It's able to extract recent relevant information because it has access to the latest tweets on the X platform. And in terms of its deep search feature, I still think Perplexity is a lot stronger. So lots of potential. Would we say it's the smartest AI? Definitely not at this stage from the simple testing, but we can see there's a lot of potential. So definitely a model worth trialing and working with to see whether it gives you the output that you want. Let me know in the comments what you've used Grok 3 for. So I hope you found this video useful, and see you in the next video.